Welcome to season 7, episode 2 of Growing Up Hip Hop. Yeah, so the show starts with us seeing Tyron visiting Sam. Sam is getting into the pool in the backyard that looked dusty as hell, and Sam wants to talk to Tyron about his discussion with Treach. Basically, Sam felt disrespected by Treach, and he doesn't understand why Treach was coming at him as if he's ever asked him for anything. No, Treach was coming at you like he knows that you are on bullshit, like he knows that you are not fully equipped to take care of another life because now this will be your third child, and Treach is concerned for his child. So Treach wants to know the plan. Any parent worth their salt wants to know the plan. But for you to open your mouth and say that you wanted to tell Pops, I think it's weird that he's calling Treach Pops. He already has a father. To call Pops, no, you said you wanted to tell Pops, fuck you? I wish you had said that, because Treach was ready for all of that kind of action. He had his mans with him, and they were in a place that Treach wasn't really trying to spend money. He just wanted him to know, hey, I see you, dog. What's the plan? He ain't got no plan. He ain't got no plan. Our next stop is us seeing Lil Twist. He looks really good. He looks like he's cleaned himself up. He says he's cleaned himself up. He's not doing the drugs he was doing. Probably not sipping on lean anymore. He got him a new set of teeth. They white and they shiny. He looks adorable. He was praying because he's now a Christian. And he's about to have a quick lunch date with Brianna. I really like their friendship because it seems like an authentic friendship, even though it's also obvious that they don't spend a lot of time seeing each other if they're not recording. Twist has given Brianna, a rundown. Basically, he was cheating on the Asian lady, Maya, that he was dating. And Maya was like, nah, I'm off this. I'm good. I'm good. So Twist misses Maya. He loves her. He's walking around with a pair of her underwear. He says he washed them. I think he's lying. If those are her underwear at all and he's not just, being a jester, he didn't wash them. They're not clean. He shows them to Brianna. Brianna, while setting up her little lunch, because she says she's so busy that she brings her parties to go. I like that for Brianna, but Brianna lets him know, bro, I liked her. I don't like people. So that says a lot about who she is. And if she's a woman worth her salt, she's going to make you work really hard. Twist is like, it's been about 6 months. She's taking too long to take him back. So he's about to start dating again. Twist is really, he on one. But at least he looks to be happy and healthy. And I love that for him. In our next scene, we see Sequoia and Devin, who happen to be JoJo and Casey of Jodeci's children. Sequoia is JoJo's daughter. I think she's his stepdaughter. But who does steps? I don't think a good family does steps, right? So Sequoia is, letting Devin know she has a song, and, he's like, okay, go in the booth. What you doing? This is the part of the show where the children let us know their parents are OGs and they have to do what their parents were doing. So they're definitely going to have R&B songs on her album that's coming out. She goes in the booth, and I was underwhelmed by the song. There was nothing wrong with her voice per se. She didn't blow me away, but that could be worked on. I was underwhelmed by the song, and I know that most of the music on this show is underwhelming, even when the OGs get in the booth. Now, there have been moments in reality TV show history where someone is working on music. What comes to mind is Monica on Tiny and the Family Hustle, or whatever they had going on. Monica got in the booth and she was singing this song that was so dope. I think it was called Down. The song was so dope just on the strength of her being in the booth that I immediately went looking for that song. I ain't finna look for any of these songs I done heard on this show. The songs are rubbish, and that's bad because it's a bunch of OGs on the show. In any event, Sequoia comes out the booth and she's talking to Devin. he's like, what's been up with you? And she's telling him, my parents are getting divorced. I'm surprised that Devin's surprised that they're getting divorced, but that's indicative of the reality that they may have been, Tiny and JoJo may have been in such a roller coaster romance that no one ever expected anyone, Tiny specifically, to leave the relationship. So, Sequoia's letting her know that, and he's like, well, how do you feel? And she's like, I just want them to be happy. Whatever happiness looks like for them, I want that for them. However, when he comes to town, I pop in to take care of him. That used to be my mom's job. And we find out that JoJo has diabetes and hypertension. Cool, fine, dandy. She also lets him know that rumors has it that her mother has been dating Laze. Laze of Bone Thugs and Harmony is her Sequoia's mentor, and Sequoia has been hearing through the grapevine that they were running around together. Sequoia also saw a picture of them on IG that looked a little bit more personal than business. She has a problem with it because her and her mother are generally very close, and for the past 2 years, they have not been close. Her mother hasn't been taking her calls. None of that's been happening. The odd thing for her is that her mom is not being straight up with her. And I agree. I don't think that Sequoia is within her right to tell her mother who to date. However, I think that if you're my manager, you pick up the phone. If you're my mom, you pick up the phone. If you are the mother to my child, you pick up the phone. That's one. Tiny's no longer picking up the phone. She's dodging these discussions. She's avoiding the confrontation. That's one. Two, I have worked with this man. You don't know if he has flirted with me. You don't know if I have seen him doing dirt in the street. You don't know any of that because you did not have a discussion with me about it. Right? And it's unprofessional and it's not maternal at all. From my perspective, a mother running from a conversation with her child is not maternal. That is the mother acting like the child and forcing the child to have a more adult perspective than necessary. I don't like it at all. In our next scene, we see that Tiny meets with Treach and Treach's wife. I don't have her name right now, but she's a beautiful woman and she seems to have her head on straight. When they're like, well, what's up? Treach's wife is like, Egypt's pregnant. And Tiny's like, oh, I had no idea. How would I know that? And she asks Treach how he feels about his daughter, being pregnant. Treach is happy to be a granddad. He's happy for Egypt, but he's concerned about the future of Sam's freedom. And he understands that his family is not being forthright and honest with him with regard to what's going on in that neck of the woods. He doesn't like it. However, Treach does know that Tiny's dating Laze, so he asked about that. And Tiny's like, oh, I'm really into him. And then she lets us know she was with JoJo for 20 years. And that alcoholism, baby mama drama, and all of the other emotional dramas is what made her leave him a few years ago. This is the thing. I believe that JoJo has more than an alcohol addiction. Because I am from New York. I am from around there where the bad boy people was at. I was an MC. I know firsthand that JoJo was a wild boy. That was a wild boy. And he used to get into the things, okay? And a part of him getting into the things meant that he had no problem in his addiction, which I believe to be more than alcohol. He had no problem, getting aggressive with women. So Tiny got out of that, and I'm happy for her. However, the whole thing with her dating Laze is she's feeling him. They're both still married, so they have to figure out what their situation looks like because they are both still married. Also, she really likes him. She gets butterflies. Then she says this real funny thing. She tells Treach's wife that boom, 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 boom. So, she's indicating that the sex life is where the sex life needs to be sexing. Treach immediately looks uncomfortable. Then she reveals to them that she hasn't told Sequoia anything. At which point Treach is like, how'd that happen? What is not lost on me is Treach just said, my daughter's not being forthright and honest with me. So we know that's a problem. But Tiny doesn't seem to see where it's problematic for her to not be forthright and honest with her child. And she lets us know that she doesn't, in her confessional, she doesn't want to be judged. If you don't think what you're doing is wrong, you don't worry about judgment. You need to be adult, Tiny. On top of not wanting to be judged, she's basically lying to her child. She told her child it's a professional relationship. That's 100% messed up. That's jacked up. Like, ain't no way that's right. So you're lying to your child. You admit that you and your child are usually close, but you haven't been speaking to her. So for me, what is giving me is, for a man, I'm going to ruin my relationship with my child. That's what it's giving me. Because this is the first opportunity in Sequoia's life where her mom is dating. So the first opportunity you get to date, you date in a way that kind of puts a wedge between us. That's whack. That's 100% whack. So we go from hearing Tiny talk about how she feels about Laze to seeing interactions between Laze and Tiny. I'm not gonna lie, they're a good looking couple. Tiny is a gorgeous woman, and Laze, he don't look bad. I'm personally not for the man with the braids or whatever, but he's not a bad looking dude. So they look good. They seem to have good chemistry with each other. They seem to be in the flow of being with each other. They're flirty. It's cute. I love this for Tiny. I just don't like the way that she has gone about navigating the terrain of being in a new relationship. As an adult, she should have had an adult discussion with her child. Oh, so Egypt's down to the rehearsal studio prepping for her tour. She's going to be with her mom, if you recall. Salt and Pepper, new edition. It's a big tour. A lot of people, an opportunity for a lot of people to see her. She's practicing her songs. They're underwhelming, again, because like I said, I haven't heard music on this show that would make me feel like, yay, I'm hearing dope shit that's about to come out. No. In any event, Treach comes to see Egypt because he needs to have a discussion with his baby girl who's about to have a baby. So she's happy to see him. She says it's always great to see her dad. However, he wants to have a discussion with her. He lets her know he's happy she's having a child. But he also lets her know babies do not eat plants. You have to have something to give a child. He also indicates that he wants her to have a peaceful pregnancy. He doesn't want her stressing and being anxious all the time. She admits that she's always anxious. Probably because she's in a relationship with someone who has her off. The only way for Sam to be stable in Egypt's life is for him to always make her feel off kilter to the point where he feels like a foundation. It is really interesting watching Treach, Pepper, Tyron pussyfoot around Egypt in an effort to make sure that she doesn't run away. Treach is really just, he's like, I ain't on y'all back. I'm telling you, what I want, what I wish I knew. And, she's like, you're well within your right to be concerned. I also get the feeling that Egypt is used to yesing them to death. Yes, yes, yes. She's a people pleaser. And I think that's another reason or another way Sam slid in there. I don't like it. We flash back to, Laze's home where he's with Tiny and they sitting down and Tiny is nervous. And he's like, what are you nervous for, girl? You nervous for a party? Okay. He's like, why are you nervous for a party? She's nervous for a party though, right? And now we see Lil Easy messy ass with Aaliyah, his wife. And, they come in while Tiny's fixing Lazy's pants, and they're like, oh, this is awkward. They always with some mess, these two. Like, this is awkward. It's not that awkward. You walked in the house. You're a grown person. And you've heard the rumors that these two are dealing with each other. But they're going to make it, they're going to make it a thing. They're definitely going to make it a thing. We get to the boring part where, Vanessa and Cree are together on their way to Lazy's beach house party. I don't care about any of this. This is just kind of to show us that Cree is actually friends with the Simmons sisters. Don't really care. Cree does mention that Angela is trying to sing. Vanessa lets us know that they tried to form a group, but Angela didn't really care about the group they were trying to start back in the day. Okay, this is cute, I guess. Whatever. Cree, for whatever reason, thinks that when she sees Brianna, she's going to see if Brianna can help Angela, because as by her own words, Brianna is very talented. This is the thing. Brianna can sing. Brianna is a pure creative, right? So Cree's like, I'm going to speak to her even though she's been subbing me on IG. Nobody cares about any of this, ma'am. Bye. We have the arrivals to Lazy's party. Twist shows up. He has Tiana or Fiona, whatever. It doesn't matter because, she's not Mia and Twist was on some bullshit. Pretty girl, though. Easy and Aaliyah were already there. TT comes in, and another thing I love the way TT greets Twist, because, again, Twist is a unique disposition. Brianna's a unique disposition, but I love that it seems like it's a pure-hearted joy when TT sees Twist. TT has her husband with her, Sean. Sean drinking that liquor from the bottle, okay? Sean is a Batman, right? So, Cree and Vanessa show up, but before they show up, Brianna shows up. When Cree and Vanessa show up, Cree, says hi to everyone. She says hi to Brianna. Brianna pays her dust because a thing about Brianna is she keeps it real. She's one of those people, she ain't finna fake it for anyone. She don't like Cree, period. Now, there were a few, last season, Cree did a few interviews and she was really shady about Brianna, even about TT, right? So she was shady and things have transpired behind the scenes. Brie ain't never gonna give her the embrace like that. Not just like that. They'd have to do some real work. But yeah, that happens. Sequoia shows up and Tiny's like, hey, Sequoia. Sequoia kind of just looks at her. And in a way, I feel Sequoia, because you're put in this awkward position where it's like, I haven't spoken to you and you're my mother. So do I pretend that we're speaking or not? And I'm going to go with not, because this is uncomfortable for me. And you know what? You haven't been speaking to me. Mom, you set the tone for what transpires next. You're supposed to take the lead as adult here. You have not. Sequoia's sitting down chilling, and here come messy here come messy Lil Easy with his wife, and they all up, oh, we got here and it was just Lazy and Tiny. Here go Aaliyah. I thought it was a date night. Are your parents married? Now, Sequoia's put in this position where she has to defend her mother, because it's like, yeah, my mom is a married woman. She wasn't just some tag along for 20 years, right? So she has to defend that her mother was actually married and, admit that she's married. Here go Easy and Aaliyah acting awkward. Oh, that is jacked up. People have had a lot to say about Sequoia being immature, but you have put me in a position where we are all here to make money together, but these are my peers. These are my coworkers. You have me looking foolish in front of my coworkers because everybody knows what you're up to but me. I can't defend you. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. And you have set the tone for this, Mom. Tiny is, I'm not on board with Tiny and how she has presented this. This is whack. It's immature. Tiny is being immature. After Easy and Aaliyah with their messy selves done let Sequoia know, it's rumors, it's gossip going on around here. Sequoia is like, I have anxiety. I don't know what's going on. The world is coming to me, telling me things about my mom. I need some air. When she goes to get some fresh air, her mom is on the same balcony and, she's like, Ma, what's up? Well, I do have to tell you some things. Tell me what you got to tell me, Mom. Now is not the right time. I personally am not the one for indirect discussion or faking the funk. I like to address what needs to be addressed now. It doesn't have to be an argument or elevated tones, but I like to address what needs to be addressed in the moment. So now she's like, now's not the right time. And she's like, Mom, you've been dodging me. And she's like, I know I have been distant, but I've been distant with everybody. I'm your daughter. I don't want to hear about what you're doing with everybody. And you ain't distant with this dude? Again, it's giving me for my men. Sequoia takes a break from the discussion because her mom is very clear that they're not going to have it here and they're not going to have it now. Again, whack. People are saying Sequoia is immature. This is her mom being very immature. In any event, Sequoia takes a step back and she goes to where Vanessa, TT's friend, she's talking to them and she's like, I feel bad because I'm not going to judge my mom. I sympathize with my mom. I know what it's like, but she's not talking to me. I don't even know if she's okay. I can't be there for her. TT's like, yeah, it sounds like you're just asking your mom for communication. And Vanessa agrees. Then TT's like, girl, sometimes you do not want to know what grown folks are doing behind closed doors. Sequoia ain't asking her mom to say if Laze got a big penis. That's not what Sequoia's on. She wants to know what's up with her mother. And she's justified in that. Anyone who thinks that she's being immature, one, look at how her mother is being. Her mom is being immature. So don't look for maturity from someone who was raised by a woman who can't be a woman about her shit. I think it's all whack, man. It's super whack. So here comes Cree looking for her moment with Brianna. Your dress is very pretty. Brianna looks at her like, you ain't speak to me when you walked in. Maybe she ain't hear her. Maybe she didn't care. She's like, yeah, I did. And she's like, because that's the energy she has. She doesn't really care. So then, she's like, I know you sneak this. Yo, I don't sneak this. I say what I say when I say it. I fucks with Brianna on this. She's like, well, you were talking about me on your Instagram. Nah, I'll say what I had to say in your face in real life. Well, why? You don't know me. You burn incense. I use plugins. I read the Bible. You read tarot cards. By the way, as an aside, I have another channel. I'm a tarot card reader of 20 years and I read the Bible. Right? So Brianna's like, did you practice this read? And Cree is trying to get to the point where she's like, I was going to come to you and say you and Angela. What Cree wanted to do was use Brianna to help Angela and probably get in closer with Angela. And she don't understand that wasn't finna happen. Angela's not new to Brianna. Vanessa's not new to Brianna. She has a relationship with them. If it's a good or a bad one, it's the one she has. So you don't need to plug me in with Angela. And you're definitely not going to use my talent to get in better or tighter with Angela. She immediately gets to, that's why your dress is ugly. Because Brianna, trying to be a better person than she's been in the past few seasons, is like, you know what? I'm going to walk away. She's not a walk away type, but she doesn't want to disrespect this man's house or disrupt this party. She lets her know, I'm going to walk away. She walks onto the balcony and my girl Cree goes in. That's why your dress is ugly. You don't even know how to dress. Ma'am, didn't you just tell me that it was a nice dress? That's what you were using to try to warm up to the discussion where you want me to work with Angela. Again, I don't need you to work with Angela. And Angela knows she really wants to work with me. She could come to me and ask me. But this ain't about that. Then she's like, you ain't like me and go look at this view that you don't have access to. pause. I don't think that Brianna is someone who, if she wanted to have that kind of home, that she couldn't be in it, right? She's very resourceful and resilient. And her father is caking off of Mary, right? If Brianna wanted to be in a penthouse or in a beach house with that kind of view, she could be. She don't want that. Brianna is not that type of girl. She ain't worldly like that. She don't give a fuck about the world. She only gives a fuck about trying to figure out where her piece is. And that's why Cree's on bullshit. I especially like the point where Cree is like, you're basic. And Bree's like, not on my birthday month, bitch. Like, you're trying to play Brianna like she's somebody who's scared of you. Mind you, I don't know who would wash who in a fight, but I know that they would both be up to the fight, and that Brianna's not going to fight like somebody who got any sense. Like, she going to go all in because Brianna's not scared to go to jail. Brianna ain't scared. She ain't never scared. So it's interesting. And then, Cree's like, Cree can't read. That's the thing. She can't read you down. So she's coming with some lame ass shit. And Brianna may not be able to read. I don't know. I haven't really done the math on that. But her goal ain't to read anyway. Her goal is to say what the fuck she said. Cree don't win in a verbal altercation with Brianna. She doesn't. So Cree goes to have a discussion with the set that's sitting down. The Vanessa... TT, they're sitting down and Cree's like, oh my God, I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I told Brianna, hi, and, we are not the same. TT heard all of that, and TT was like, I'm out. She lets us know in her confessional she has a history, a weird history with Cree, and she don't want Cree to be a part of her future. So she goes and she finds Brianna, and she's like, yo, what happened? And Brianna's like, look, she said hi to me. I was like, no, she told me I had a nice dress on. And I said, yo, you want to say hi to me? And she was like, I did say hi. And I was like, I believe in eye contact. Then I thought to myself, I might be drunk. So let me remove myself from the discussion. I'm not apologizing for shit anymore. I'll fuck with you. I'll fuck with you. Twist is like, yo, I got your back. Sequoia's like, you know what side I'm on. And TT and Sean are there. They're basically letting Brianna know we got you. In the past, Brianna has been wilding out because she was drinking, and they're letting her know we know that this ain't you. So Sequoia in her confessional is like, look, Cree might have a problem with Bree because Bree is resourceful, resilient, talented, creative. And Cree's an event planner, but we ain't never really heard about no events like that. Heck, she couldn't even plan the event of TT's wedding, right? So it's problematic. Again, last season, because I've been watching, last season, Cree let, I think, Color Me Pink know, hey, they still needed to use me for my contacts, yada, 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 whatever. In any event, they flash back to inside the house, and Tiny, this woman who does not want to talk to her daughter about seeing Laze, is backing it up on him, and they're being really PDA-ish. They're touching on each other. That's awkward. If you did not want to have this discussion with your daughter, you should be carrying yourself a different kind of way in front of your daughter and in front of her friends. But you not on that. You on bullshit. Twist pulls Sequoia to the side. Twist and Sequoia, that would be a cute couple, except Twist is that rapper that he's not done being in the world like that, right? So he asked her what's going on. She lets him know that she's not really feeling the vibe in there because her mom ain't talking to her. Her mom on bullshit. And, they're flirty. Twist is looking good. Sequoia is, like, giving him energy. And he's like, yo, I feel like Sequoia want to bump and grind, but I ain't finna do it like that. Bottom line, everybody's having a good time down to the party. Sequoia tells Twist to call her, but she gets out of there. And that's how we end the episode, with Sequoia being out. Her and her mom are not in a good place.